Welcome back to The Perspective. We're talking to Shoeb Kagda, Editor-in-Chief for Globe Asia. 150 richest Indonesians will be out in a matter of days. It's putting the magazine to bed. Now, we talk about the third generation of these conglomerates, Shoeb. Do you feel, in your perspective, they have perfected the formula of running or managing their empire in the last 10 years? Your observation? Well,
I think they have done reasonably well, because many of these third generation family members have studied in some of the top universities in the world. And normally, before they come back and join a family, they also spend time in the US or in the West to learn about business practices there. And then when they come back, they don't automatically take the helm. They're also given a lot of responsibilities to help them learn from the ground up.
Yeah.
So I think that has really worked very well amongst Indonesia's business families. They give them enough space to make mistakes, to learn from those mistakes, but at the same time, there is a mentoring process, because the father or the grandfather is still around.
Right. Now, the shift into digital economy, do you think, and you have what you call the rising tech titans, I kind of like the term you use, titans. Do you think this comes at an impeccable timing? Jokowi is trying to increase Indonesia's digital economy. At the same time, e-commerce in Indonesia is booming. We are seeing more and more e-commerce digital corporations, and some of them actually made it to your list. Your view on this?
Well, absolutely. I think tech is really the future. While a lot of the major business groups will continue to focus on their core businesses, which they have built over many, many decades, the future is tech. And they are investing heavily in tech too. I'll give you an interesting statistic. Silicon Valley, just Silicon Valley, has 23,000 startups. Okay, Indonesia wants to get to 1,000 startups. By 2020, which is President Jokowi's plan.
Yeah.
So we are lagging far behind in that sense. But the encouraging point is that they understand that tech is the way to go.
That's the direction.
That's the direction that we are taking, right? But building tech companies is also not overnight, right? I mean, Google, Facebook, Apple took many years to get to the size that they are. The question is, can Indonesia get a unicorn in the tech sector within the next 5-10 years? That's really the question. And some of them are actually very close to it already. Of course, everybody knows Gojek is out there. Traveloka has done very well.
Setting the trends.
So the question now is, we are at the moment, Indonesia is basically looking at taking what's worked outside and importing it into our own market, and that's okay because you learn from abroad.
Right.
What the next step and the next level really is to look at solutions that are localized and that are unique to Indonesia, and then build your business based on that. Now, the whole idea of tech is that the infrastructure, the technology is just a platform. At the end of the day, you have to service your customer.
Right.
What does the customer need today? And I think you'll see great growth in education, online education, digital education, healthcare services. Today you have wearable devices that monitor your health and your well-being. All that needs to be applied to the Indonesian context.
Yeah.
And I think you will see Indonesian entrepreneurs starting to address those issues.
Yeah. Now, you remind me, when you say a company, a digital company or a tech company that is unique to Indonesia, let's just call Mataharimall.com, for instance. It's one of the companies that's the fastest growing marketplace out there, belonging to the Lipo Group. Now, they've taken a major investment into making sure that this develops. Do you think these other billionaires would somehow jump into that wagon as well in the next few years, seeing as 130 billion by 2020? That's how much it's worth. Do you see them tapping into that market share as well?
It is already happening. A lot of the big groups are already starting to look at e-commerce and the tech, the so-called the tech digital space, and say where are the opportunities and how much can we invest and how soon can we get in. It's all about timing. It's about resources. How much resources are you willing to put into such ventures? And really, at the end of the day, also, how much stomach do you have for the burn, right? Because a lot of it is cash burn in the initial stage. Can you ride that and can you grow big? You mentioned MatahariMall.com, for example. It has over the last, it only launched, it's about a year now, right?
March last year.
Yeah. It's done very well, primarily because they decided on a strategy where they would employ the best and they would put enough resources behind it. And of course, they would leverage on Matahari, which is already existing now. That's the retail side, which is actually a very interesting model because it's both a combination of online and brick and mortar. And I think that's what I mean by unique Indonesian solutions.
Yeah. And working with other sectors post Indonesia, making sure that
so they are actually leveraging on what's here and bringing people into their ecosystem, which is, I think, at the end of the day, you know, business is about, you know, it's not a lose-win, it's a win-win, right? And those companies that are able to do that the best would get ahead.
Now, rising tech titans. Can you tell us a little bit about this? But I think we're going to have to go for a short break when we come back.